An ass once carried through the streets of a city a famous wooden image to be placed in one of its temples. As he passed along, the crowd made lowly prostrations before the image. The ass, thinking that they bowed their heads in token of respect for himself, bristled up with pride, gave himself airs, and refused to move another step. The driver, seeing him thus stop, laid this whip lustily about his shoulders and said, "O you perverse dullhead, it has not yet come to this, that men pray and pay worship to an ass. They are not wise who give themselves the credit due to others." My. You talk about, oh my goodness, you talk about lessons and stuff. I keep telling y'all, these folk tales are not for kids. You know what I'm saying? Or not just for kids. I'm gonna let me say it like that. These folk tales are not just for kids. I need to remind you that you are now listening to Tghe Radio. I am your host, Brother Hatim, and this is a Heart of a Symbol production, where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Man, listen, I'm sitting up here reading this story and I'm thinking about a lot of things going on in society. I just came from a Symbol reunion 2015, and one of the major pieces, well, let me put it this way, the theme of the workshops for this reunion was "These Streets Are Real." And the major piece that we wanted to discuss with amongst the nation builders and elders and get to the youth is that there is a threat to our young black children, far as the police. And we wanted to discuss how we should teach our children to deal with police officers. And reading this story, man, it's almost like sometime when I'm going through this book, the lesson that comes across fits right in with what's going on with my life. So as we're talking about that, I'm thinking about the role of a police officer. A police officer is a public servant, and the respect that people are supposed to pay to the police officers, not to the person that is carrying the badge. You see what I'm saying? You paying respect to the badge, which is a symbol of the state under which we are under. But a lot of these police officers are acting like this ass here. Wow, appropriate term. A lot of the police officers are acting like this ass here, where they feel that it's them that garner the respect. You know what I'm saying? That it's them that people should, in a sense, prostrate to and pull over for when they see the lights. It's them, but it's not them. It's the image that they carry. You know what I'm saying? It's the badge that they carry. And in carrying that badge, it comes a certain responsibility. You're taking credit, you know what I'm saying? Personal credit and personal pride in something that you're carrying. And you're supposed to uphold that pride rather than allowing your ego to intercede. And when your ego intercedes and your ego clashes with somebody else's ego, you automatically think that you have to draw your weapon. Now, this is not just for police officers. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? But what I am saying is the lesson in here is how many of us in our lives are taking credit that does not belong to us? How many of us are parading around with something on our back that other people look at and prostrate to, bow to, show respect to, and honestly start to think it's us? Honestly, start to get the big head and start running around like it's us. Many of us are blessed in many different ways, and oftentimes we forget the source of the blessing. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing as this ass carrying an image on his back. You start to think that the blessing is you, and every now and then you need that person on the side of you with the whip to remind you that it's not you, fool. Keep it moving. It's not you. You know what I'm saying? The blessing is not coming because of who you are. You know what I'm saying? The blessings are coming through you because you have been favored by something. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you call that something. And you need to always carry yourself as if you're representing something higher than you. You know what I'm saying? And when you carry yourself like that, you act in a certain way. Man, these folk tales, like I tell you, they're not just for kids. You know what I'm saying? There's major lessons that we could pull up out of this. Now, this is the challenge. Look at your life and see where you're behaving like this ass. You know? And then also look in your life and find who may be that person with the whip that can help you come to the consciousness of who and where you are. You know? Because sometimes we get stubborn like the mule and we stop and we're not going to move because we think it's us. But it's not us. You know what I'm saying? It's not you. It's not you that people are amazed at. You know what I'm saying? It's the skill set that you've been blessed enough to develop that they look at and focus on. It's the work that you put in. It's the blessings that you have received that they are amazed at. It's not you. You know what I'm saying? And when you're able to separate you from that, then you are able to carry yourself in a respectful manner. You're able to respect others for what they bring rather than wondering why everybody's not looking and prostrating to you. All right, now, so here's the challenge. Now, I've been reading these folk tales for a while now. We are on, this is folk tale number 134. And what I want is for those listeners out there, find a folk tale. Send it in if you want. I mean, you can find it on everything is almost everything is on the internet. You can find the folk tale. You can write the folk tale. You can email it to me at hatim at GeamiJourney.com. That's HA2TIM at GeamiJourney.com. If you want me to look at it and break it down, you could record it and email it to me as well, or send it to me. I will play it. I will break it down. If you break it down, I'll let it be broke. You know what I'm saying? I want other people to participate in the show because there is a wealth of folk tales out there, and there's many lessons. And I also would love for you, when you're listening to the show, to give me your perspective on what you heard in the folk tale, because we all don't hear the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So let's take this time to this morning time, I guess we call it devotional time, to studying these folk tales. Whenever you listening, sit down, do some writing, do some thinking, and drop me a line. Let me know what you think about the show. Let me know what you think about the folk tale I read. Let me know what you think about the interpretation. Let me know what more you might have brought out of it, because some of y'all out there are stopping my blessings because y'all not really listening in a way to where you can go and define it, because you might hit on a key that may save my life. So I'm depending on you as listeners to participate. Or maybe the thing that you send in may not be necessarily for me. It might be one of those other people out there that's listening. You know what I'm saying? So let's start sharing the wisdom that we have amongst ourselves. Let's don't be the ass. You know what I'm saying? And stop. You know, you're listening, you stop. No, keep it moving. Get that idol to the temple. You know what I'm saying? You keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And share that wisdom. All right, this is Brother Hatim. Once again, this is Giami Journey Radio. I'm your host, Hatim, and this is Folk Tales for Grown Folks. The Aesop fable we listened to today is The Ass Carrying the Image, and it's one of Aesop fables, and I picked it up from a translation by George Fowler Thompson, a book that I purchased from ForgottenBooks.com. Check out ForgottenBooks.com as well. Give them some support because they got a whole bunch of good information for you. And last but not least, we always strive to blow up your old paradigms.